So first things first, closing sales. What does it mean to close a sale? Since you're the few in the room, I'm gonna have to ask you a lot of questions. What does that mean? Closing, huh?
You can ask them too.
Okay, what does it mean to close a sale?
I feel get some money.
That's right. That's it. When they agree to give you money for your service and you accept their money in exchange for your service, that's it. Okay? The first thing I want you to know is some numbers. These are numbers that I've learned over the years, and they're kind of in my head as I'm talking to people, and these are numbers that I want you to be aware of. The first number, and I'm talking specifically to you entrepreneurs who earn your money through clients. Those of you who want to accumulate clients and service clients, that's who I'm talking to. You guys, those who want to earn their money through people. You want to accumulate clients. That's who I'm talking to tonight. Solopreneurs, coaches, consultants, financial services people. You're trying to gain clients. That's who I'm talking to. I want you guys to know some numbers. The first number is the number 0. Most entrepreneurs, the vast majority of entrepreneurs, never, ever even ask anybody to hire them. They never, ever ask for business. What they do most of the time is they just tell what they do. Well, I'm a life coach, and I help people to heal and overcome, and I help people to leave corporate America and get into entrepreneurship. They just tell what they do. Telling what you do is not the same thing as selling what you do. Telling what you do and never get saying, will you hire me? Will you give my services a try? Will you give my services a try is the way I recommend that you invite people to try you. Will you give me a try? Will you try me out? Most of them never ask. They just tell what they do. Well, I'm a fitness coach, and I show people how to get their bodies right through exercise and nutrition. But they never ask anybody, will you try my services out? Never, okay? When you don't ask for business, when you don't give them a chance to say yes or no, you are operating what's called low probability selling. Low probability selling. With that attitude and with that methodology, what you're hoping, and this is what most people do today. Most people do today is they do their social media marketing. They tell people what they do. Well, I have this business here. I help people with your branding, and I help you with your story. I help you with your fitness. I help you with your coaching, your life, all that stuff. They keep on telling people what they're doing. They market, social media marketing to death. And what they're doing is they're hoping that somebody will understand what they do. Okay, you help people with healing. I need healing. Can I hire you? That's what they're hoping will happen. They're hoping the clients will understand it for themselves and then close the sale themselves and then ask you to accept their money. That's low probability selling. Most people never, ever give them a chance to say yes or no. Never. Okay? If me and our Dr. Deborah are sitting down at the dinner table, having dinner together as colleagues, and the food comes and the salt and pepper are over there next to her, and I want salt and pepper on my food, I got some choices to make as to how to get it. One thing I could do is I could get up from my seat and walk around the table close to the salt and pepper and get the salt and pepper and walk back around. I could do that. That way I would get it. Or I could also drop some hints. You know, Dr. Deborah, when I have my food, I oftentimes like to have salt and pepper on my food and then hope by me hinting around, she will understand, maybe he wants salt and pepper, let me hand it to him, okay? Because she might get it that way. Or I could sit there wondering, how come she doesn't at least offer it to me? She sees my food here. What's wrong with her? There's something wrong with her. She didn't even offer it to me. What's wrong with her? That's another thing people could do, okay? And it's all her fault because she didn't recognize that I had a need of salt and pepper and come up with the idea on her own. When you don't close the sale, that's exactly what you're doing. You're putting in the same thing. If I had just said, Dr. Deborah, would you hand me the salt and pepper? Very likely she'd say, sure, no problem, hand it to me. Because I asked. I'm going to tell you guys a quick Aesop fable. It's a story of Buridan's ass. Buridan's ass, the donkey. It's a story of this donkey who starves himself to death while standing in between two huge stacks of hay. He stands between two huge stacks of hay. And he starves himself to death because he can't decide which stack is better to eat from. When you recognize your clients have a need, and you showcase, and you actually have a service that will help them, but if you don't close the sale, listen to what I said, if you don't close the sale, you, not them, if you don't close the sale, you are putting your clients in the position of Burden's ass. You're not leading them in any direction, and if you leave their presence, if they have a problem or a need that your service solves, if they have a problem or need that your service solves, and you express to them how you can be helpful to them, and they understand how you can be helpful to them, and then you leave their presence without closing, what happened basically, you just basically made fun, or you picked at their bad situation and didn't help them out of it. You left them with the same problem they had before you got there if you don't close. I want you guys to accept your responsibility to close the sale. It's your job. Your website cannot close for you. Your landing page can't close for you. Your social media marketing can't close for you. It can only let people know. Your brochure can't close for you. Your business card can't close for you. Only you can close for you. Amen? The second number I want you to know about, the number 1 to 2, average producers who have had some sales training will ask for business, but only once or twice, and then never again. Asking for business once or twice, and then never again. And a lot of times they'll ask for business once or twice, and then never again is because they have this thing in their head, well, I don't want to be bothersome. I've asked for that business before, I didn't say yes. Sometimes it's timing why they didn't say yes. Sometimes it's just not the right time for them. And they just need somebody else to ask again. Here's a painful thing that happens. When you do your presentation and they don't accept your services right now because of timing, and you don't ask them again later on, what happens is the next salesperson that comes along gets an easy sale because of the work that you did and you didn't close it. And you didn't follow up long enough. They get a lay down because of the work that you did ahead of time. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes. The average producers will ask for business once or twice, but never again. Only the champions, and you have to want to be a champion producer. You cannot be a champion by accident. You have to be on purpose trying to be a champion. Everyone that's on this broadcast, I am hopeful that you're endeavoring to be an absolute champion in your game. I think you have to want to be a champion in your game. You want to be a rock star in your game. You want to be the best one in your game. You have to endeavor. You have to shoot for that star. You got to shoot for that mantra in order to get it. Does that make sense? Okay, shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll be amongst the stars, right? Only the champions will follow up people the requisite number of times. The requisite number, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8 times over time until they buy or die. Okay? 2 rules. Rule number 1, never let your clients forget about you. Never let them forget about you at least once a month. Every potential client that you have, at least every potential client that you have, meaning they're not yet your client, they're not currently a client, at least once a month, they all should hear something from you. Some kind of an email, some kind of an offer, some kind of news, once a month until they buy or die. Rule number 1 is never let them forget about you. And rule number 2 is you never forget about them. I think I got my rules backwards. Rule number 1 is you never forget them. Rule number 2 is you never let them forget about you. Okay?
You got comments from the online. Rashana says, yes, amen. This is good.
Love Rashana. The next thing I want you guys to know is this here. What do you think that is, Dr. Deborah?
It almost like 2 people looking at each other.
Very good, yes. This here is the secret to sales success diagrammed out for you, okay? If you figure out a way to do this, you cannot fail in selling your services. What what this is getting belly to belly with 4 people a day. And really, you don't even have to get belly to belly anymore, ear to ear. If you can have 4 meaningful conversations a day about you and your business, you cannot fail. 4 meaningful conversations. What's a meaningful conversation? That's any conversation where they understand what you do and they understand that they can get it from you. The conversation can last 1 minute long, it can last an hour, doesn't matter. But 4 meaningful conversations. It takes some skill to get to 4 meaningful conversations though. First, you gotta learn how to do 1 meaningful conversation a day. If you do 1 meaningful conversation a day with a potential client, 1 a day, and you work a 5-day work week, that's 5 a week, that's 20 a month, that's 40 in 2 months. If you have 1 meaningful conversation a day, just over 2 months' time, and do 40 in 2 months, is it likely, Dr. Deborah, that 1 out of those 40 people will transmute into a paying client? Yeah, it'll be really difficult for you not to make money with the resolve to have at least 1 meaningful conversation a day. It'll be the numbers will gang up against you and force you to earn money. Okay? First, you learn how to do 1 meaningful conversation a day, then you learn how to do 2, then you learn how to do 3, then you learn how to do 4. If you need to learn how to do that, I know of an outstanding sales coach who can show you how to get to 4 meaningful conversations a day. Now, when I first started learning how to sell, I learned how to start in the sales game back in 1993. And in 1994, I decided I wanted to get good at it. And I started reading books on sales. And I read 1 book and then another and another and another. And by my own count, I've read more than 700 books on how to sell. And I know that's a conservative estimate because several of the books I read way more than once. Some of the books I read again and again and again, like Zig Ziglar's Secrets of Closing the Sale. And The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. I read those books lots and lots of times because they have such good information in it. And at the time, in the 90s, I thought the key to being a great salesperson was being a great sales closer. So I focused a lot of my time and energy on how to close sales. I studied just closing, how to overcome objections and close sales, because I thought that was the key to being a great salesperson back then. Back in 1996, I wrote a report called The 22 Must Closes, 22 Ways to Ask for Money That All Salespeople Should Know. And that's kind of like started me down my journey of being a sales guru back in 1996. And it was 4 closes you use before you show them your rates, 4 closes you use when you show your rates, 4 closes you had when there's a little bit of resistance, 4 closes you use when there's a lot of resistance, and there was 2 more closes that you use when you're trying to either make the money or get kicked out. So it was 22 must closes. Today, that's not how you sell. Today, the champion salesperson is not the great closer. Today, the champion salesperson is the great prospector, because the great closer is going to try to sell anybody. But the one that's a champion today is only going to try to sell the right ones, only sell to the right people, the fit before the fee. That's the champion. So I don't believe you need 22 closes. I don't think you need 100 closes, but I do think you need 2 essential sales closes that I'm going to teach you guys right now. These are the 2 sales closes that I want in all of your selling arsenals. The first sales close I want you guys to master is called a 3-question close. A 3-question close. Now, the 3-question close, you're going to do that before you show them your rates. You're going to do a 3-question close before they know how much you charge. You're going to do a 3-question close when you're showcasing for them what you do. It could be in this, I do believe you can sell most services in 4 minutes or less. So once you demonstrate what you have and they understand what you have, and before you tell your rates, I want you to adopt and use a 3-question close. Question number 1 in the 3-question close that I want you all to master before you show your rates. Question number 1 is, can you see how my services will da 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 da? Can you see is the key part of the question. Can you see how, and then whatever benefit you're espousing at the time. Can you see how working with a healing coach will help you to overcome that thing? Can you see how? Can you see how working with a life coach will help you to stress less and worry less? Can you see how working with a nutrition coach will help you to eat better and feel better? Now, the answer to that question, the only answer you will accept should be yes. That's the only answer that you will accept because you just demonstrated how that would be. And if they cannot see how working with you would help them, then you need to explain it again so they can see. Does that make sense? Can you see how working with the a healthy sales chick can help you in your life's work, in your life's journey? Can you see? That's question number one. They're going to give you the only answer you will accept. The answer you will accept is, yes, I can see. If they can't see, you're either going to challenge it or repeat it so they can see it. Once you got that, question number two in the 3-question close is, are you interested in whatever benefit you're espousing? Are you interested in actually healing? Are you interested in feeling better? Are you interested in being stronger or having more endurance and more flexible? Are you interested in speaking better? Are you interested in whatever benefit is that you're espousing at the time? One answer you would accept. Yes. Of course the answer is going to be yes, because why are you there talking in the first place? Why have you been there talking about business that long? It has to be yes. That make sense? And the first question is, can you see how, da, 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 da. Second question is, are you interested in, da, 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 da. And the third question is, if you were ever going to start to, whatever benefit you're espousing, when do you believe would be the best time to start? If you were ever going to start to repair your credit, when do you believe would be the best time to start? If you were ever going to start the journey of healing from that divorce and that abuse, when do you believe would be the best time to start? If you were ever going to start eating better or being smarter with your money, when do you believe would be the best time to start? Now, there are two answers that you will accept. One of them answer that you will accept is now. Okay, yes, you'll accept that. And the other answer you will accept is sometime in the past. I should have started 2 years ago. I should have started 10 years ago. If they give you anything else, I think the best time to start around the first of the year. That's the best time to start this, first of the year. Well, we're in June now, so that means you want to wait another 6 months before you start enjoying these benefits. If you believe you're better off by doing this, that means by not doing it, you're choosing to be worse off for another 6 months. And why would you do that to yourself? You know? Yes, sir.
Why would you wait for until the first of the year?
Yeah, you challenging.
Why would you do that?
Exactly. And that's a fair question to ask. That's a fair question to ask. Why would you do that to yourself? Because they're not doing it to you, they're doing it to themselves.
Because you lost the first 6 months.
That's right.
Yeah. Now you have 6 months left. Between that time and the end of the year, you could run into a lot of other situations where it will keep you from, thinking about those things.
I totally agree with you.
Involved in that because situations continue to.
The situation continue to come up.
From that situation.
I totally agree with you, Dr. Dunstan, because when you say stuff like that to me, what you're basically saying is you're making a bet with life. I'm betting life that nothing else is going to crop up or nothing else bad is going to happen between now and then. Okay, and I don't want you to put yourself in a position where you're betting life that everything else is going to go smooth as glass between now and that time in the future that you're going to get around to take care of this. Other things can happen. Don't do that to yourself. You're setting yourself on fire when you do that kind of thing. One of my favorite closing questions, and I'm going to give it to you guys as a gift. One of my favorite closing questions is, if you don't do this, what will you do? If you don't let me help you, what will you do? By the way, the 3-question close and a question like, if you don't do this, what will you do? Does anyone believe that's coming across as potentially manipulative? Does it sound manipulative to anybody? Or does anybody think that's too high pressuring them too much? What do you think?
I like it.
Huh?
I like
It is a little bit pressure,
yeah,
but it's their pressure, not yours.
Yeah, it makes people think.
Yeah. You're not pressuring them. You're allowing them to hear enough and asking the right question that they will pressure themselves into moving forward. Okay, just like Burrid has asked, if you don't help them to decide which stack of hay, you are letting them starve. Okay? The first essential close is a 3-question close. Does anyone believe the 3-question close would ever be effective? Would ever help somebody to move forward? Would it ever work?
I think so.
Think it would work?
Yes.
Yes, sir?
Yeah.
You going to say something?
I think it would, yes, I think it would work if they continue to focus
Mm-hmm.
on what they are taking in. And once they get an understanding, then it's up to them to make a move.
And by the way, it's always up to them. But you must do your part to motivate them. Now, that's another point here I want to talk about. Do you believe your clients and your potential clients are better off with your services than without your services? Are they better off giving you the money it takes to hire you, the money it takes to work with you, and then get your service? Which are they better off? Are they better off keeping their money, all of it to themselves, or are they better off investing in themselves by giving the money to you? And you have to be certain of this answer. You have to be certain. If you don't believe they're better off with your services than without your services, then that means you need to work on your services until you are certain. You can't fool anybody. You can't fake the funk. Okay? If you don't believe they're better off, they can tell you don't believe it. They'll be able to tell. And if you don't believe it, they're not going to believe it either. So work on your service. You got to know, if I invest my money into hiring you, am I going to be better off by investing my money in hiring you and working with you than I would be if I didn't? Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you sure?
I am.
Because you kind of have to be sure of this.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I am. I mean, people have been. They just haven't been paying to do so.
Well, that's a temporary condition, and that's in your rear view mirror, because now they will. Your windshield is they're going to pay you for your services. The rear view mirror, the small piece of glass, that's the rear view mirror, because that's going to change. You and I got a session upcoming.
Yes.
All right. You must be certain that you're benefiting them. The first close I want you to know is the 3-question close. The second close I want you all to master. This is the king of all sales closes. I want you to imagine your clients have said to you, yes, I want to work with you. They understand how much you charge, and they've agreed to give you the money. They're excited about working for you. When they say, yes, let's do this, what do you say next?
The chat didn't ping, but I want to catch up these comments.
Sure.
I apologize. Rashana said, I wonder what they would say. Oh, then she answered her own question. Utoka said it's holding them accountable. I love it, talking about when you let them put pressure on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Rashana says, yes, it will get them to close or not. Either way, it's in information. Absolutely. Utoka, have to boss up. It's about posture.
Amen.
And I want to leave the chat open so that I don't miss that again. I apologize.
No problem. We're good. No problem. We flexible. We can work it out. All right. We caught up now?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. No problem. One thing that Lisa just said, the posture, conviction. You have to believe in it, first off. Everybody can tell if you're iffy on your services. Okay? If you're iffy. You know, if we had a real estate agent in here, a lot of times real estate agents are put in a position where they have a young couple, husband and wife, couple of kids, and they find the perfect house for them. And the home fits their budget, and it's in a good neighborhood. And you can see that this is exactly the right fit, fenced-in backyard for their kids and their dog, and they're going to enjoy many years of living there. And a lot of times they get the perfect fit, and the clients don't do it because the clients are unsure. And then the real estate agent doesn't know how to close them, so they leave the situation, okay? They don't close it. And then what happens? That young couple continue renting because the real estate agent didn't close. I believe it was the real estate agent's fault. They didn't know how to close. They chose not to close. That's a very real example in my life. One time when I was 25 years old, 24, 25 years old, I had good credit. My credit union said, and we were renting. My wife and I were renting, had 2 small children, and the credit union had a house. It was the biggest house in an established neighborhood. It had 3 archways on the front, a few stairs, fenced-in backyard on a corner lot, okay? And they said, Brian, you guys qualify for this house already. Check it out. Go check out the house. So we went and checked out the house, and we loved it, okay? We loved the house. And it was beautiful. The inside was it was just great, okay? It was more space than we needed at the time, but we would have grew into it. And my mortgage was only going to be like $300 more than what I was paying for rent, okay? That's all it was. But I was a straight commission salesperson. My wife didn't work outside the home, so all the money was on me. And no one closed me. No one suggested anything. They just told me about it, and I didn't get it, okay? So what if I have a bad month? I was misusing my imagination. I could have like, what if I have a good month, you know? Just as easy I thought myself not to do it, I could have thought myself into doing it. So I misused my imagination. I was young and dumb, and I had no leadership. Nobody closed me to tell me, no, you can handle this just like you handle all your other bills. That's all somebody would have had to say. You'll figure this out just like you figured everything else out. And I would have had that home, but I didn't get that home. And I continued to rent for another 3 more years, I think. I think I was 29 when I bought the first house. Okay? So, yes, sir.
So what did you miss from the salesperson?
No one tried to close the sale. They just told me about it. No one asked me to do it. No one encouraged me to do it. They just told me about it. Yep. They said it's a good fit for you, and they didn't close me. No one did. If anyone had tried to close me, I would probably own that home. And I would have had a legacy for my family. I could have passed it on to another child. I could have sold the home. I could have done a lot of things if I didn't want to stay in it, or I could have kept it, you know? Every time I think about that house, I get sick. Okay.
Somebody came back to you and say, okay, Brian, let me show you how you can afford this house. And
Yeah.
Kind of do anything.
It was a perfect fit, and I didn't. Now, go back to what I was saying. If someone said to you, and I'm gonna pick on you, Dr. Deborah, they said, yes, I want your services. I need your services. I'm willing to pay you the money that you want. Let's do this. What do you say next?
Well, I'm gonna cheat.
No problem.
If I send you the invoice tonight, what do you think you'll be able to pay?
I'll pay as soon as I get it. Okay, role play it with me. They said, yes, let's move forward. Okay, what are you gonna say next?
Okay, I'm gonna say that, and then now I'm stuck.
You're not stuck. You're not stuck.
And if they say I'll pay it tonight, okay, well, I'm gonna get that out to you, and we can get started. I don't know.
You're fine. Okay, you did good.
I sent the invoice.
Whatever you would normally say after they say yes. Yes, let's move forward. Thank you very much for this opportunity to serve, or congratulations, wonderful. I'm happy to work with you. Now, the only thing I need from you now is a little bit more information, and I'm gonna need some money from you. Okay, will you help me with that? That's how I do it. I just need a little bit more information. I'm gonna need some money. Will you help me with that? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, great. Whatever you would normally say, and let's schedule your next session, all that. Whatever you would normally say after they say yes, hear me now, I want you to always say when you finish your presentation. I want you to assume the sale. Every time they allow you to present and to tell your rates, I want you to assume the yes and move forward as if they said yes. Whatever you would normally say after they say yes, I want you to always say whether they said yes or not. The assumptive close is the key of all closes. Assuming the sale. Sometimes they'll put on the brakes. Sometimes just carry on. But I want you to always assume the sale first. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That makes sense to any of you guys?
You can talk to them that way.
I can point here too, can't I? I see their names.
And that shows them your back.
I know, but I can see their names when I look this way.
Melissa's on. Melissa
She's
made
messing
it.
with me.
She's been trying for hours.
Melissa Price?
Yes.
Woo, glad to have you here, my sister. Okay,
Question.
Yes, sir.
In doing that sale,
And Rashana said yes, I'm sorry.
No problem.
and the person acknowledged that, yes,
Mm-hmm.
okay, then why not get information and get them to sign right then and there before
Yes,
you make a move, before you leave?
you should. Okay. They said yes. Get the remaining information you need. Get whatever monies you need, and you get their agreement. Okay, that's all.
And some written on.
Well, if you have paperwork, a lot of times we don't even have paperwork anymore. It's just online. Yeah. So if you have paperwork, go ahead and give them the autograph. Anyway, don't say sign, okay, because that's a bad selling word.
Right.
Okay, sign is a bad selling word. Use autograph, okay, the paperwork, your name, your agreement. Any of those are better substitutes.
Yeah, if you have paper that they can observe what's there.
That's right.
So forth.
That's right. So the essential closes are the 3-question close and the assumptive close. Okay. Now, I need you guys to understand this too. Once they decide to work with you, or even before, once they decide to work with you, they are on an emotional high. Okay. They are on an emotional high when they said yes to you. Okay. This is bringing my, when they're on an emotional high, if you leave their presence while they're on an emotional high, they have to come down off that emotional high without you there. And if they have to come down, they might question, why did I do this? Oh my gosh, I just committed all that money. So I want you to master a technique called bringing them down off the mountain before you accept their money. Okay? They said yes, great. This is all I need. I'm gonna need a little bit of information from you. I'm gonna need some money from you. I'm going to schedule. Now, before I accept your money, before I dare accept your money, please tell me, why did you decide to hire me? That's called the bringing them down off the mountain questions. Why did you decide to invest in yourself? Now here, when you ask that question, you are looking for a logical answer. You're looking for an answer that makes sense. If you ask them, now great, I'm excited about working with you. I want to work with you. I believe this is a good fit. I believe we'll be helpful for each other. I'm looking forward to all that. Now, before I accept your money, please tell me, why did you decide to hire me? If they say, I'm hiring you, Dr. Deborah, because I think you're terrific. I like you so much. I think you're a champion. I've seen you around. I just love you. If they said they're hiring you because of how great you are, that is not a good reason to hire you. If they hire you for anything other than they see benefits for themselves, you have to make them say how they see benefits for themselves. If they hire her because of how great she is, the moment she leaves my presence, the reason why I'm doing this is gone too. You can only if they say I'm hiring you because you're so great, Rashana, and I love working with you, Rashana. I'm gonna get to the question. I love working with you, Rashana. Rashana is great. Here's how you should respond to that. Thank you very much for the compliment. But do you see benefits for yourself? Oh yes, I know I've been needing to do this for a long time. I believe it'll benefit me this way or that way. Make them say how they see how to benefit them. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I was just gonna read the comment. Rashana says, OMG, Brian, yes, this is good, and you did this to me.
Of course I did this to her.
Yeah.
I did this to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was amazing. It was amazing and so helpful. So if you haven't experienced it, you should experience it because it works. And it makes you feel really good about the decision that you made. So I'm loving this. Sorry.
Thank you, Rashana. I do it every time. And I want you guys to do it every time. Every time. Okay? Don't take their money until you ask the bringing them down off the mountain question. Rashana's right. Just the other day, I did it to her. She agreed. She saw value. She wanted to move forward. She wanted to invest her money. I wanted her money. I thought it would be a good fit, but I am not foolish enough. Listen to what I just said. I'm not foolish enough. And you would be foolish too if you don't guide them off the mountain. Why did you decide to work with me? Yes, ma'am.
got another comment up here. Melissa says, "Ma'am, that's so true. It kind of burst my bubble when you said that, but I get it. The second the person who is of greatness leaves the room, the greatness goes to." Great. Food for thought.
Yes, ma'am. And she's right.
Yeah, I can see myself when somebody has done that and I'm all excited and everything, and they didn't bring me down. So when they left and I did come down, I'm like, then I was actually a little bit mad.
Yeah.
You think you
Like,
made an
hey,
emotional
I got-
decision.
yeah,
Exactly.
hey.
And it's
Hey,
true,
man.
you did make an emotional decision. You was on an emotional high.
It would benefit me because, you know,
Yeah.
I forgot those things when I came down. I forgot.
Yes.
So that probably would have helped.
Yeah, it would help
It
tremendously.
would have helped.
By the
That's
way,
how you did.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you did that with me.
I did.
Yes.
Tell me, what
because she's an
value
outstanding
did you share?
student.
Yeah, it is important. It's very important especially if you are a charismatic individual, because oftentimes people are just attracted to your energy and you're not a good fit. I want to be a good fit for you and you want to be a good fit for me. It needs to be mutual so that at the end of that, you're not going home canceling checks on me, because I don't like canceled checks.
Right.
Right.
Speaking of which, she said the word twice just then. Always, always, always keep this in mind. Fit before fee. Fit before fee. Everybody is not your client, but the right people for you should be your client. The right fits should be your client. Get the right fit before you make your money, okay? Fit before fee. So now, they said yes, you brought them down off the mountain. Sometimes there are, and I need you guys to understand this, objections versus conditions. Objections are excuses for not buying. Conditions are valid reasons why they cannot move forward. A condition might be if you need all parties concerned to agree. There might be 4 business partners and only one of them is there. You don't have all the other partners there. You can't produce the other partners, so that's a condition that you can't consummate business. A husband and wife team, they both have to agree, like on an insurance policy. They both have to autograph it, and only one of them is there. You can't produce the other one, so that's a valid condition why you cannot consummate business right then. Objections: can't afford it, costs too much, I don't have time, it's too complex. All of those are excuses. Now, in sales, you typically want to stay away from absolute terms like always and onlys and nevers. However, I'm about to give you an absolute term. All objections, all of your objections can and should be overcome by you. All of them. Objections, if it's not a condition, the excuses can and should be overcome by you. All of them. Okay? You can, and here's the cool thing too about objections. From industry to industry to industry to industry, you all only get about 2 or 3 objections. That's it. You get money, you get time, you get complexity, you get color. That's about all you get. And if you know what your demons are, you can get good at overcoming them. Now, once you get an objection, you decide it's not a condition, it's an objection. You're going to handle that. By the way, don't begrudge when people object to you. It's okay. It's just part of the game. Some people have to do it, knee-jerk response. They don't want to come across as easy. Don't get upset when they object to you. It's okay. It's just their process. It's objections are the rungs on the ladder to your sale, okay? You have to go through them. Don't be upset. Don't be thrown off by objections. You should anticipate them. No problem. Don't get upset at all. They're okay. Welcome them, okay? And some objections, you're going to learn tonight how to swat them away like flies. It's just annoyances. This doesn't mean anything.
I got a chat.
Okay. I hear Dr. Deb. Hello, sis. We're still praying for you. And actually, I can say my previous statement has related to you directly. I did a workshop in February, I think, and we sat together and led us in meditation. And then Lisa and Precious and everyone had a moment in that workshop to speak. But the second you got up from that chair and left the room, I felt you leave. You have such presence and power in what you do. I like so many things in this meeting now, but I felt it when you were done. So how do you make ourselves and services last when we aren't physically there to facilitate? Feel free to clip note my comments. I get along with it. I'm sorry. That sounds like Melissa Price.
It's okay. Yes, that sounds like Melissa. It is Melissa.
Now, that's a good point there. When you're talking about your work, you should talk about it as if it was already done. Like what they get after you finish. What's their lasting impact? Like a movie preview of coming attractions. After you work with me, you'll be able to sell your services better than you ever have before for the rest of your life. After you work with Dr. Deborah, those past hurts that have impeded your progress, that have caused you to bump your head again and again and again and go in the same negative cycles because of that past thing, you will be able to conquer that and never repeat it again. That's what they gain. That's the lasting impact. You should talk about it like that, okay?
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
In the situation you're saying, if you are up in front of the room, how can you lead that to, because I know she's talking about after I finished, I'm over.
Yeah, no, you're
How
not.
do
You could talk about what you talked about and what they have gained, okay? So tonight we talked about this and this and this, and what have you gotten out of this? Okay, what have you gotten? And by asking that question, yes, ma'am?
I was going to allow you to finish.
Sure, but by asking that question, like so far tonight, has anyone either online or in the room have gotten value in the time that we spent here so far? Have you?
Yes.
That's an actual question.
Like what?
Yes.
Like what?
I learned the 3-question close.
Okay.
And I wouldn't have thought about that.
Okay.
And I also learned that assume the yes. Like at almost closing it before you even close it. It's kind of like
that right there, we're going to cause you to close at a higher percentage just by that understanding right there. Yes, ma'am?
Rashonda said I learned the king closer, the assumptive close.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, what I wanted to respond to with Dr. Deborah and Melissa, so what they're talking about is a little bit different than the one-on-one conversation with someone that's going to lead to that. They're talking about the front of the room experience.
Okay.
And I think that it's important when you're giving a front of the room experience that people can now have an opportunity to connect with you to get more. So you want to make sure that you leverage the experience that you just gave them with compounding it on an opportunity to get more. How can they get more? I'd love to meet with you one-on-one or a trial coaching session. That's the benefit of having the speaking from the front of the room opportunity in the first place, is to showcase what it is that you know, who you are, and give people a chance to taste test you. But without that compound part, giving them the opportunity to now meet with you one-on-one for their own personal experience, you're leaving money on the table.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking here. If I say that, I'm
Yes.
like, okay.
That's the biggest thing that so many of my coaches do.
Touch with me. I left it in their hands. I didn't.
Yeah. If you want to, call me. No, that's
now.
Yeah, and I didn't even say that. You know.
You're going to change that now.
Yeah. I didn't know what are you supposed to do, because I speak a lot of places. But
now I want you to continue. But I got the sentence I'm just about to give you, I got from Lisa Nichols, okay? I'm giving her credit in case I ever bump into her. I learned this from her. Lisa Nichols speaks to gain clients. She's speaking to identify potential clients. That's why she speaks. She wants the clients, so she's willing to speak, whether it's paid or not, to the right audience. Whether it's paid or not, to the right audience in an effort to gain clients. She's learned how to leverage her talks and give people opportunities to follow up with her to gain clients, which keeps her profitable. That's what you do. I want you to speak to gain clients. Rashana, speak to gain clients. What to do before asking for payment.
Great info, what to do before asking for payment. That's
bringing them off the mountain.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Now, You get 4 chances to overcome an objection. You get 4 chances to overcome an objection. The first chance you get is before it comes up. The second chance you get is when it comes up. The third chance you get is after it comes up. And the fourth chance you get is never. Before, when, after, or never. When is the best time to overcome an objection? When?
I think before it comes
It's
up.
right. The best time to overcome an objection is before it comes up. That is true. The best time to overcome an objection is before it comes up. Now, knowing this to be true and accepting this truism, how do you overcome an objection before it comes up? How do you do it? Here's how you do it. You want to say something?
Number one, I was just thinking, I was going to say it before, because when you are breaking it down, you're breaking it down to a point where they don't have an opening to come after you about that question.
Well, that's true. Now, by the way, you can do everything right and they still come at you. Okay?
Yeah, well, that's true. But, but when you're breaking a question down, and if you can cover all angles, what are they going to say?
They can still object. Here's how you do it.
But I understand.
Okay, here's how you do it. The best time to overcome objections is before it comes up. And here's how you do it. The way you overcome an objection before it comes up is you bring it up. You bring up what your demon is, your most common objection. You bring it up before they do, and then you shoot it down in such a way that they can't bring it up. You bring it up. For example, if your main objection is money, if that's the objection you get most of the time, here's how I do it. Dr. Deborah, every so often I'm talking with someone and they really need my services. And some of those very same people that really need my services choose not to hire me sometimes, even though they really needed me. And the reason they don't hire me sometimes is because of the money that it takes. Sometimes they don't feel they have the money to hire me at that time. And if that's the case, sometimes they put it off. But I really believe if money's the reason why they don't hire me, money's the reason they really need to hurry up and hire me, because they can't afford to keep doing it the way they've been doing it. You know what I mean? So today, I'm not going to let money be a hindrance for you and I. I will be able to work this out in such a way that anyone can afford me, even you. Fair enough? Now, what happened there? I brought up my demon, and she helped me to kill it by saying that's fair enough. Whatever your demon is, sometimes people don't choose to do it because they're not sure if they're going to be able to implement the system. And that's not going to be a challenge today, because I'm going to work with you even after you hire me to make sure that we can implement this the right way. I'm going to work you through the process. You bring it up first and you shoot it down. Very often when you bring up the objection first, they will do more than Dr. Deborah did to help you kill it. You say, exactly. I tell young people that all the time. If you have a way to be helpful, you should take advantage of that. Okay? They help me to kill it, and I let them. Before is the best time to overcome an objection. You bring up your demon and you shoot it down in such a way that they cannot. Some objections you need to handle right when they come up. If they say anything derogatory about you or your company, you need to handle that right now.
Yes.
Don't let those things linger at all. If someone says to Miss Nancy, I heard all you do is just take their money and then you never follow up with anybody. What would you say to that? Well, you would defend yourself. I know that's not true, and you would say that's not true. If they say to you, Dr. Deborah, I heard all you do is take money from people and then they have a hard time finding you. After you get your money, they have a hard time finding you. What are you going to say to that?
Well, that's not true. I'm available to you. You can even have.
You will defend that position, right?
Yeah.
It's not true? Is it true?
It's not true.
Okay, if it's not true, you have to defend that now. If it's not true, don't let that linger. You hear me? That's an important point. Okay. I heard you about to go out of business. If it's not true, you need to say that is not true. Okay? Some objections you need to handle after or later, particularly when it comes to your rates. And I hate to keep picking on you, Dr. Deborah, but you're in my room. So.
You can pick on Rashana. She's
Rashana.
sitting by.
Rashana's good. Okay, Rashana, I'm going to pick on Rashana. If someone shakes your hand, Rashana, they say, Rashana, I understand you speak and you do workshops and you do all these kinds of things. How much do you charge? How much do you charge for your services? They ask you up front. Lisa, I understand you're a coach's coach. Lisa, how much do you charge?
Hey, Rashana's off mute. I'm trying to get you to talk.
Okay.
Yeah. What would I say? I would say I bring value to the people that I work with, and I would like to help you if you're ready to take action.
I am. How much do you charge?
I guess I would give them my rate.
Okay, let's role play it out. How much do you charge?
I like to work with people for 3 months, and I have a package. That package includes one-on-one coaching with me. And
yeah, but before we get into that, just tell me how much you charge before I can do all that. Just how much do you charge?
Okay, 3 months is $1,500.
Okay, I want you to never do that again.
Okay.
Never, ever, ever tell your rates until you believe they fully understand what they're getting. Even if they're trying to bully you, do not tell your rates.
That's why I was like, I don't want to, but
I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't tell your rates ever until you believe they fully understand what they're getting, and you get to decide when that is. Don't tell your rates. If you tell your rates before they fully understand what they're getting, no matter what you're charging, it's too much. It could be $50. It's too much because they don't understand what they're getting. Don't tell your rates. This is a rule and not a suggestion. Okay? Don't you do that again.
So what do you do?
I'm going to show you what you do.
Okay.
I'm just told you right now what you're not going to do. You're not going to tell your rates again. Okay?
Okay.
Why are you pointing at him?
I love this.
Yes. Well, they can ask anything they want, but I'm going to be the professional in the room too, and I'm not going to tell my rates. Okay.
And Melissa said you can pick on her too. She has thick skin. You guys know I have a huge issue figuring this out. I don't really know what my services are worth. How do you know? I heard the same hesitation in Rashana's voice as I have in mine.
That is your conscience telling you, trying to protect you. Don't do that. This is a trap. Don't you tell your rates, okay? That's what's going on. That hesitation on Rashana and Melissa. Your subconscious knows that's a bad idea to answer this question. Okay?
I felt her cringe.
Yes! Oh my God, no!
I'm like sweating over here.
Here's what I want you to do instead. I want you to explain to them your process. You started to do that, Rashana. Okay? If they start asking you the rates, explain your process. Like they wanted to hire me. Role play it with me, Doc. And you could be as bully as you want. Try to get me to tell you how much I charge, okay? Okay.
All right, I'd like to know what are your fees for your rates for
sales coaching?
Get me established, get me started.
Okay, great. Are you asking for yourself or for someone else?
I would be asking for myself.
Awesome. Do you believe you need a sales coach?
Well, yes.
You do?
Yeah,
okay.
The reason why, because it's something that I would be considering to get involved in.
Okay,
so I would need the help to knowing how to get started.
Okay.
And get started in the right manner so I can continue in that.
Okay, well here's how it works. Okay, it starts with me with a conversation. I do what I call a free consultation at first. Okay, I do a consultation, takes me 15 to 20 minutes, and we can schedule it if you like. Okay, and so we'll do that first. Now, after the free consultation, based on how that goes, we'll schedule what I call a trial coaching session, and I'll tell you those rates then. Would you like to schedule your consultation?
Yeah, well, that would be it.
Okay, good. So I'll schedule it. Now that was pretty easy. If he had tried to say, look, if you don't tell me your rates, we got no chance. Well, I appreciate the opportunity. Good luck with you. I'm not telling them. I don't care what you say. Not doing it. Okay? Unless they know. Unless I get a chance to explain what my service is. Let's say they've had the consultation with me. And now they want to know how much is my total package. I won't tell them until I explain what it is. Well, we've done a consultation. Now, what I do next is what I call a trial coaching session. And I charge for a trial coaching session. Would you like to know how much I charge? Would you like to know how much I charge for a trial coaching session? They say, yes, please tell me. Well, here's how it works. A trial coaching session with me is going to be very involved. It'll last about 2 hours. It'll be a very personalized sales coaching session, one-on-one. You'll be writing, you'll be thinking, and I'll be guiding you through some things. When we're done with the trial coaching session, you're going to be much better at selling your services than you were before we started. And it's not what I hope you accomplish. It's what I know will be true. Now, would you like to know how much I charge for that? I charge $197 for a trial coaching session. After I've explained it to them, then I'll tell them what I charge for that. Okay? This is a rule. Rule, Utoka. Yes. I want to read the names, baby.
I know, but they can't see you pointing or see your back.
That's okay. They've seen my backside before. It looks a lot like the front.
I have something I want to interject. The other thing about someone that is adamant about you doing it their way,
yes,
they're proving to you that they're going to be difficult.
Yes.
If they're going to be difficult now, then they're going to be difficult later. And again, it's fit before fee.
Amen.
And because it's fit before fee, I get to choose my clients.
Nah, this ain't working for you.
It's not working for me. I get to choose my clients. And because I choose my clients, I want someone that's going to be coachable, that's going to be following the rules, because in order for them to get the best results, they need to follow the rules. And Utoka said, I hear ya.
Rule. Rule. Okay, excuse me.
That's right, Rashana. She said, preach, Lisa. Absolutely, absolutely. And I don't want to work with somebody that I know up front is going to be difficult to work with.
People play the game the way they practice it. Okay? They play it the way they practice it. What was that? So don't tell your rates up front. You tell them when you're ready. Put that off. My rates are very important. I promise I won't keep it a secret from you. But let me let you know how this works. And then do it. Okay? And some objections you should never dignify with a response. Silly stuff. Stuff that don't matter. Stuff that has the express purpose of trying to throw you off. Nonsense. Sometimes people throw nonsense up to you. I don't want to get your help right now because I might die next week. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, that's silly. That's nonsensical. Here's how I want you to handle silly objections. The simple stuff. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to ignore them. Don't dignify the silly stuff with response. If it comes up again, I want you to ignore it again. If it comes up a third time, I want you to say, I heard you the last 2 times, but don't respond to it. Just say, I heard you. Right, okay? I don't want you to waste your time, energy, and efforts talking about nonsensical things that don't move this thing forward. Does that make sense?
Yes, that was what I wanted to hear.
No foolishness.
Yeah, you don't got time for foolishness.
You got yes and yes from Rashana and Melissa.
Now, once you decide to handle an objection, there's a 5-step process to overcoming any objection. 5 steps to overcoming any objection. Step number 1, they give you an objection that they think is a good one. Here's how you handle it. Step number 1, they gave you an objection. I want you to hear it out. Hear it out completely. Do not interrupt them while they're objecting. Hear it out completely and do not interrupt them. If you interrupt people while they're objecting to you, it often forces them to repeat their lame objection. If you make them repeat their lame objection, a lot of times they might convince themselves that their lame objection might actually have some legs. So hear them out completely Do not interrupt them when they're objecting to you. And I want you to slowly count to 3 before you respond. 1001, 1002, 1003. Hear it out, count in your head, don't count out loud. You look silly, okay? They gave you an objection. Can't afford it. 1001, 1002, 1003. By slowly counting in your head to 3 before you respond, it does 2 very good things for you. One is it makes you come across as a listener and a thinker, and it should make you come across that way because you are. The second good thing it does for you is it ensures that they were not just pausing long enough to catch a breath. Because if they just want to catch a breath, they may have more stuff they want to say. And if they have more stuff they want to say, you want to hear that too before you bother responding. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Hear it out completely. Do not interrupt them, and slowly count to 3 before you respond. When my wife didn't understand what I was doing in the beginning of our relationship, she did not like that I wouldn't argue with her the way she wanted me to argue. She wanted to argue, but I wasn't going to play it like that. Oh, no. I'm going to let her say all she's got to say before I open my mouth. I'm just going to sit there and listen. Mm-hmm. And then when she's finished yelling at me or saying something, I'm going to wait before I respond. And she couldn't stand the wait, so she would say more stuff. So hear it out completely. Don't interrupt them. And let them.
You took and Elizabeth said they're going to have to mute their phone and bite their tongue while they're objecting.
No, don't do that. Just let them say. It helps you. It helps the process if they get it all out. Let them say what they're going to say. Okay? Saving marriage out here. Hear it out completely. Don't interrupt them. That's important. Don't interrupt them. Let them say what I got to say. Step number 2. I want you to feed it back. Feed it back to them. That means I want you to repeat their objection back to them, but in the form of a question that you can handle. If they say, can't afford it, 1001, 1002, 1003. They didn't say anything else. So what you're telling me is you can see how my services would be helpful to you, but right now the money that it takes to move forward is a little bit out of your budget or a little bit more than you have. Is that what you're telling me? What do you think they're going to say? Yeah. Is that what they actually said? No. I reframed it in a way that helped me. They said they can't afford it. My price is way too high. 1001, 1002, 1003. So what you're telling me is you can see benefits to my services, but the money that I'm asking is a little bit more than what you were wanting to invest. Is that right? They're going to say, yep, that's exactly right. Okay? Now, already I think I'm overcome this objection. They agreed. Yep, that's it. So if you had the money right now, we'd be moving forward. Very often, when you feed it back to them, that means repeat their objection back to them in the form of a question. Very often, just by repeating what they said, they get off of that objection and change it to something else. And I've done no work. Your price is way too high. 1001, 1002, 1003. So what you're telling me is this is just a little bit out of your budget. Yeah, Brian, because now I got these 2 kids in college, you see, and now we're on kids in college, and I'm not talking about my rates anymore. And I've done no work. Okay? All I did was ask one question, and they're doing all this mental gymnastics. And not me. I'm relaxed. I'm calm, confident, and ready to move forward. All I did was listen and ask one question, and they change it up on themselves. Okay? Relax. Showmanship matters, by the way. Showmanship matters. Keep your face confidently expectant. Confidently expectant. That's how your facial expression should be. Timid salespeople have skinny kids. If you're timid in your offer, they're going to be timid in their acceptance. Okay? Okay, you hear me? If you say it's going to be $1,500, if you ask for the business like that, they're going to be timid in accepting. You should present your rates confidently, almost as if you're bragging on your rates. That's what it is. That's what it is. You can ask Giz. Okay? I I stole your girl while you was in prison.
Jail.
For MC assault. You was jealous. It's all your fault. Hear it out completely. Do not interrupt them. Feed it back, but in the form of a question.
Yes, I like that. Rashana said, that's right. Fix your face.
That's
Brag on that.
Fix your face. Fix your face.
Fix your face. Melissa said, like a boss. That's right.
Number 3. Isolate. Isolate the objection. It should be an A. Is there anything else that's keeping us from moving forward other than the money? Is there anything else that's stopping you from enjoying these benefits? Because what you don't want to do is overcome one objection and then they give you another one. And then you overcome that other one and they give you another one. The dumbest client you're ever going to get can still eventually find something that you can't handle. So I'm telling you, don't even play that game. Only overcome the right one. Don't worry about the smoke screen, the stuff that don't matter. Can't afford it is typically a smoke screen. Okay, that don't really mean anything. People always, this is this absolute term, people always find money for what they want. People find money for what they want. Poor neighborhoods buy Jordans, okay? $200 sneakers. Why? A lot of times their lights get turned off, but they get those sneakers because people buy what they want to buy. Listen to this point too. Now, a long time ago, I chose to adopt the philosophy, I never believe people when they say they can't afford me. I just choose not to believe them. I don't call them a liar. I don't act like they're lying because I understand money is fluid. Even if they have no money at all today, if they want my help, they can find the money. It might be tomorrow, it might be next week. It could be next month. They can find the money for what they want, okay? I use this example all the time. A woman who's living paycheck to paycheck, barely ever have any money. She goes to the mall and she sees these boots that she loves, and the boots sell for $800. She has no money, and she sees these boots, man, I wish I could get those boots. They're $800. She happens to go through there one day with no money. Those boots have been marked down to $300. She goes in there, sees they have one in her size. What do you think the probability is that she'll find that $300? She's gonna find that daggone money because she wants those boots. It's easier to fan the flame of an existing want than to create a need, okay? People buy what they want. It's much easier to fan the flame of an existing want. If they want the healing, if they want the better body, fan the flame of what they want, okay? Than to create a need. People do what they want way faster than what they need. It's not even close.
Utopia says she'll skip a bill and get those boots.
That's right.
I was just gonna say, open up a charge account.
Open up a charge account. Skip a bill. Hey, I can be late on that.
It's for real, for real.
I like that, Utopia. I'm gonna skip a bill and get them boots, okay? Because they got it her size. They there for her. By the way, people will justify. You don't even have to help them. If they want it, they will justify spending the money. Even if the money is higher than what they wanted, they will figure out a way to justify. You don't have to help them with that. Is there anything else stopping us? Sometimes it will be something else. Okay? Sometimes it will be something else. If it's something else other than those two things, is there anything else stopping us? The smartest client you're ever going to get can come up with 2 reasons not to work with you. No one will ever be able to come up with 3 reasons not to work with you. Okay? Most of the time, they're going to have one, and you can handle the one. Is there anything else that's keeping you from enjoying these benefits? Isolate the objection. Now, once you heard about what?
Melissa said I would put those boots back up online for $800 after buying them for $3 and make me $500.
That's the business women of her. They go right back up for $800. but you have to find the 3 to do that. Okay. You heard them out completely. You've fed the objection back to them in the form of a question. You've isolated the objection. You're taking your time. You're being a professional. All you've done was ask 2 questions. That's it. Relax. Most people worry too much about the close. I'm teaching you a system where you can just take them systematically, and you will all be surprised at how fast you just adopt this philosophy, just become what you do. It's gonna take you like 1 or 2 tries, and it's just what you do. You don't even have to think about it. Okay? Relax, take your time. Hear it out completely, feed it back to them, isolate the objection. Number 4, now you work to overcome the objection. Now you overcome it. Now you do all your cool stuff. Well, we could do less work. We could start with just this right here, or we can extend some terms to you. We all do have some terms to make them. Now you do all your cool stuff. The money, well, we can make it work for you. We could do 25% up front. We could do this in 30 days. Now you can do all your cool stuff. Overcome the objection on step 4. Here's how amateurs do it. Up front, can't afford it. Well, we could do payments. They skipped all the steps, okay? The client said up front, your price is too high. Well, I got payments for you, okay? You're skipping steps. And by skipping steps, you're gonna miss it. You're gonna lower your likelihood, okay? You're skipping steps. Don't do that anymore. You be the professional. I need it by the end of the month, and I don't know if you can do it by the end of the month. Well, yes, I can. Okay, you're skipping steps. Don't do that. So what you're saying is, it's urgent that you do it now, or you can't do it at all, right? Is there anything else that stops you from moving forward? Nope, that's the only thing. But I do believe we can work that out for you. Now you're gonna overcome it. Take your time. It's gonna be easy. You be the leader. You be the professional. Step 4, I told you this is 5 steps. Now you're overcoming it. And step number 5, this is the step that separates the people who make the money from the people who almost make money. This is the difference right here. Step 5, ask for the business. Ask for the biz. Amateurs, they will overcome the objection, and they will believe that because they overcame the objection, the clients are going to close themselves. They're not going to close themselves. You have to do that. You overcame the objection. The price is too high. You showed them how they can afford this for $100 a month. Now that's easy. So it's $100 a month. You still have to say, well, now that we've overcome that, can we give this a try? Can we give it a try? Can we get started? You have to ask specifically for what you want. Hear it out, feed it back, isolate it, overcome it, and ask for the business. Amen?
Amen. Melissa says, hear it, feed it, isolate it, and
overcome it, and amen. All right, how we doing on time? All right, we're over, okay? I think that's all I wanted to cover today. Is there anything else I missed? I got everything on my list done, okay? All right, overall, now I want you either to write it or say it, if you can bring my line. I want somebody to give me whatever value they got out of this last hour. What value did you get out of this last hour? Or if you want to summarize this hour, I would appreciate that from somebody. Anybody welcome to do it.
Okay.
You want to do it?
I would like to say something specific just in this.
Okay.
That I didn't even know there were steps between the objection and number 4.
Yeah. That's
because
a biggie.
I did that this week. I went from there to giving, well, this is how you can do that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even think there would be any steps.
I was looking back on that situation, would it have helped, do you believe?
Yeah, I believe I would have probably come up with something better. I was just happy just to close it, but I think that if I had done those things, we probably would have came out with even a better plan than what I ended up with.
And going forward, you'll learn this.
Because I'm the one who came up with it, and they probably wasn't even, yeah. I mean, we closed it, but I definitely probably could have, now looking back.
Melissa says, I wish I could have been there. It's great to hear the familiar voices in the room. I personally like step 3 a lot. That resonated with me quite a bit, a blocking point. I feel like step 4 and 5 could be easy for me if I could get through step 3.
She's absolutely right. And this is a professional step. Is there anything else that's keeping us from moving forward?
It's almost like you're afraid to ask. I don't want any more
Right,
questions.
right.
No, you want all of them before you do anything else.
Yeah. Yes. The enemy you know is better than the enemy you don't know. Okay?
I don't even think I did number 1 too good.
Hear it out.
Because
I appreciate your transparency too.
yeah, because as soon as they said money, I automatically already had an answer.
So you interrupted them.
Yeah, I didn't hear it out. I kind of just wanted to hurry up, overcome that, because I already had a plan.
Yeah.
Because
And a lot of, see, that's the thing right there. Thank you for saying that. We trip ourselves up. We trip ourselves up because we already got a plan. Okay? Stay in the moment, please. You're better off.
Now I'm wondering what she was saying.
Okay?
Move forward.
Yeah.
Nancy said, loved it. How much do you charge?
Awesome. Is Rashana still with us or is she gone?
No, Rashana's still here. Utoka's still here. Melissa's still here.
Yeah.
Does any one of them want to come live? I want one of them to give me a summary of tonight.
Utoka says, now I know what my problem is. It's hear and get out. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, my sister. Any one of you guys want to come live and tell?
They're coming in. Someone's coming in.
Yeah. So
Who's
this is
that?
Rashana.
Hey, Rashana,
Hey.
what did you get tonight?
Oh, I have 5 pages of notes. I think the thing is that I wrote down and circled was to take my time, to not rush through the process or let my emotions get ahead of me, and just be in the moment with the person and go through the process. Yeah.
Yep. She's a recent client of mine. I promise, I think she's already said that she has. A lot of what I did tonight here, you saw.
I did. Can I tell? Okay, so real quick though. So Brian made me cry, and not make me in a bad way.
Why you gonna say it like that?
Right, exactly. That's why I paraphrased. That's why I changed it. So I cried in the session because he hit the pain point. And so at the end, when he asked me the question of what value I got, that's when I knew it was right. It was the right fit, and I was going to get something out of it. And so listening to all of this tonight, I wrote so many notes because I'm like, I've been in these situations where I've done it wrong. I've been in these situations where people have done me wrong. And so this is the right way.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. I am excited that you're my new client, Roshana, very much. I don't want to make anybody cry.
It was a good cry. It was
I don't know what to do with it.
I felt so bad for him, but it was a good cry. It was what I needed. And when you're in business and you're passionate, like most of you I'm sure are, and you get to a place where you know exactly what you need, but you don't know how to get it, and someone says, I can help you, of course, absolutely. You go forward.
Thank you, and I'm so excited. All right, we're going to close now. We're going to call that a session. Thank you, guys.
Everyone on here has not had an opportunity to work with you.
Okay. So here's how it works with me. There's a couple ways you can work with me. I offer a free consultation, okay, by phone. And you can either go to my link, which is calendly.com /BKMcNeill.com, something like that. Or you can just call me directly. I'm old school. You can just call me. 919-345-4893. 919-345-4893. Or you can go to my Calendly link and schedule yourself. Yep. And you can schedule yourself for a free consultation. I also offer a free ebook. I'm going to offer that here as well. I have a free ebook. The free ebook, you can just get that from, just put in 123. Text 123 to my phone number, and I will send you the free ebook. The ebook tells you how to tell your story and a campaign to get you profitable, even if you never worked with me. What's this all the stuff that Melissa says?
Melissa says, well, step 1 is a beast, LOL. No one really likes to hear what isn't making people happy about our services. But if we can't tailor it to our clients, the step used will be a hard step for me because I use because before I started following you guys and have been knit together with so many other people, Brian, I swear on all I have, we will get you comfortable with the inner sap inside of you by the end of the year. Crying is so macho, for real.
She wants me to get comfortable with my inner sap. Okay.
Yeah. Good luck with that. But for anyone that is interested in connecting with Brian, the contact information is on there. All those that did register for today's class will also receive the recording within 24 to 48 hours. Yes, Utoka, the recording will be emailed to you as long as you registered. And she says this training was awesome, and you're welcome.
Let me say something about the people that are here tonight. A lot more people registered than actually showed. Okay, probably 4 times as many people registered that actually showed. So what this tells me is all of you folks who actually showed, you guys are different. You guys are the best people. You actually did it.
They missed out.
All right. Well, is that good?
Yes.
Anybody else need to say anything before we close out? I want to stop the recording.
The books. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe. Thank you. And I didn't even put them out. This morning I did this. And I forgot. Okay. Now, one way to take me with you and to invest in yourself is through my books. Now, the first book I have here is called The Shortcut, the fastest route to selling your services better than you ever have before so that you can earn more money than ever before. This book is only 74 pages. That's it. A lot of cake, very little frosting. This teaches you step by step what to do to get profitable in selling your services. And I'm offering you this book. If you get it off of Amazon, it's $19.95. You get it through me, it's $15. The follow-up book to that. The Shortcut teaches you what to do, but it does not teach you how to overcome objections. I wrote the next book, Asking for the Money, how anyone can close more sales, even you. This book is 94 pages, 20 pages longer. This teaches you how to close. This book inspires you with confidence when it comes to closing sales. Very proud of this book. The Amazon reviews of Amazon Asking for the Money are amazing, you know, and maybe you'll want to write a review as well. I also have a not just for children's book called Why Rhinos Make Great Salespeople, featuring Mr. Randall the Rhino. This book is a parallel between characteristics of a rhinoceros and a great entrepreneur or a great salesperson. And this book is, I'm very, very proud of this book as well. So anyone here, you're welcome to get these books. I do think these go well in tandem. I think they go perfectly in tandem. But you're welcome to get any one of them. And I will tell you this too. At first, I was a sales coach long before I was an author. And at first, I was wondering if people bought my book, they wouldn't hire me as a coach or they wouldn't need me as a coach because my books are kind of thorough. But what I have discovered is the people that have my book and reading my book along with taking my training, they're better clients for me because sometimes they'll get ahead of where I'm coaching them. And then when I coach them on something that they may have just read, it makes it make more sense. Oh, I thought it was this when I read it, or now it makes more sense. I get a chance to reinforce it better. So I like my clients that have my books. I think it works real good. All right, we good? Lisa?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go take my family out to dinner. You guys have a great night. Go ahead, stop the recording, son. Lisa.
I got you.
Okay, you got the recording.